Hello friends, I'm Nancy Thompson with Create with Nancy, and it's time for some creative ink. It's time for you to get creative, or for us to get creative and you to get inspired, and time to share some beautiful creations with others to bring joy to the world. So come on in, and if this is a recording, so if you're watching the replay, the recording, please say hello, because I will go out and check your comments afterwards and respond back. Let me know that you've been watching and if you enjoyed today's card. Today's a little bit different. It's not really funful, but I don't know. We were talking about class today. It's kind of like a fun cut full front. I don't know how to explain it, but let me know in the comments what you would call this type of card. So let's go to my desktop so we can see. This is the cards that we did in the last episode, and it was a simple and easy card sketch. It's using its paper. Yes, what's the paper called? Yeah, what is the designer paper called? I should look. Autumn Toile, I think, is what it's called. And I love this paper. There's 4 designs, double-sided, and it is so great masculine cards and great for the fall. This one has pheasants in it. So if you missed that episode, go back and watch the episode from Wednesday. So we're going to use the acorn because everybody wanted to use the acorn when I asked what I should showcase today. So we're going to use that and some of the words in it. And there's a coordinating set of dies. This is a mega suite. So there's two stamps and die sets as well. And these are both red rubber, okay? In case you haven't heard the news, red rubber will be phased out here throughout the next, I don't know, 4 months or so, and we are going all photopolymer. And then there's a great set of dies to go with this one as well. There's a large die that mimics the tree, and right here. And this die here is meant to do in a different color so you can get that leaf look on your tree as well. Okay, so that's the die set, and let's look at the designer paper that goes with this beautiful, I love it. So you're going to get 12 sheets of 12 by 12, and there's 4 designs, okay? There's 2 front and back, and then we have the pheasants here. Here's the back side of the pheasant. And then we have the foxes. There's the back side of that. So you will get 3 sheets of each of these designs, okay? And then here's the back side of this one. I love this too. Great for scrapbooking as well. Okay, this is the card we're gonna make today. All right, so let me know. This is, I don't know what to name it, okay? It's just a fun cut fold, I guess. Front cut, a fun front cut. How's that? So, okay, we're going to color our acorns. Okay, let's get started on how to do this card. You're going to need a paper trimmer. We're starting with 5.5 by 8.5 cardstock, okay? And I scored it 4 1/4. And we are going to just simply put it in our trimmer and line it up at the 1.5 inch mark, okay? And I'm going to make a little tick mark there, all right? So you're going to take that tick mark and you're going to leave it in the ditch. This is what's called the ditch, your cutting ditch there. We're going to line it up in the ditch there and this bottom point, okay? You just double check. Sometimes it moves on you. You just want to get it in the center of that ditch. Close your guide here. And it's better to not ever cut on a point if you can avoid it. This wouldn't be bad up here, but I'm going to start in the middle and I'm just going to go back and forth, okay? Now this is scrap. There's nothing we can use for that, okay? So that creates that diagonal fold there. Isn't that kind of, or cut, that diagonal cut there. Okay, so we have that. Oh, did I cut everything? You know what? I'm missing one piece of paper. So we gotta cut a piece of cardstock. So hang on, which one do we need to cut? I thought I had everything ready. We need that beautiful paper here. this one right here. So what size? I gotta look at my measurement size. And my paper just fell, so hang on. Let's go with, we need 4 1/4. Okay, I apologize everyone. So let's just do a quick cut here. And I have paper all over the floor now. Here we go. That one's not wide enough. So we need a 4" by 5 1/4. Okay, there we go. And then so 5 1/4 is what we need. Okay, we're good. So we've got 4 inches tall by 5 1/4 wide. Okay, and we're gonna put it in our cutter again, our trimmer, and on the side we want it directional. Okay, we want to just turn it because we want to cut our angle on this edge here. So we're going to put it in 1 1/2 inches again, make our little tick mark. Okay, we're going to do the same concept. Okay, so nothing like being real here and disorganized, right? There we go. Now this, I have been saving these because I've been making different designs with these. So you can make another card, and this is perfect for a second card. Okay, so we've got that. All right, so we're kind of working our way up. So that's going to be on the front of our card here. Now we need to create this side panel right here. Okay, so we are going to, this dimension, our cardstock is 5 inches tall by 2 1/2 wide. Okay, and this, we simply go corner to corner on this one. Okay, so this will actually create 2 cards. Be great for 2 cards. And I'm going to just I started in the middle of my cardstock, you know, up from the edge. So we've got 2 cards there. And this one, if you're using directional, it might not work for 2 cards, but it will for this. So this is going to be 2 1/4 by 4 3/4 inches tall. And we're going to do corner to corner again as well. Okay, because we want to get that nice border around. So before you flap it down, just move your blade so it's in the middle, in the center there. Okay. All right, so we actually have enough for 2 cards. I think that's all. And I've already got this for the inside because I've cut it for another card. Okay, and we'll talk about those in a second. Okay, let's start building our card. All right, we're done with our trimmer, and we're going to simply burnish our card front. I got a bone folder here. Okay, so let's just give that a nice burnish, and we're going to simply glue this on. Okay, and stick around because I've got some great samples with the other designs in this paper to show you. And this is just going to give a nice border all the way around. Okay, now let's do this corner piece. So we're going to glue these 2 together. These should give you a nice border. Yep, looks good. And you can see it's going to be taller than what we need, right? But we got that covered. Okay, I love the liquid glue because it gets it in that tiny little pointy area really well. And it slides into place really well. I'm not so worried much about the top as I am the bottom part. Okay, let's slide this over just a little bit. Okay, so this is going to go in this corner here, but you want to be careful because see how some of this is showing? We don't want to put any glue there. So you're going to take your pencil again and just make a slight tick mark, you know, inside of where it's going to be. And there's my tick mark right there. And I'm going to just kind of draw a triangle up to the corner. Okay, and I can add my adhesive to this corner. Okay, Can you see that? So I've got some adhesive on this corner. And then I'm going to line up my corner flat down at the bottom and then along the side. So around here and here is where I want to line everything up so it all falls flush. So it's flush here and here, okay? So it's flush here and here. And we're going to trim off this little bit here because that won't fit in the envelope. All right, so look how easy that was. It looks complicated, but it's not. Okay, let's do our inside here. So here's my triangle, and I'm gonna just glue this on. Where did I see that? I printed it off from, I found this from another demonstrator, who I think got it from another demonstrator. I think it was the Tattered Stamper who came up with the design, but I fiddled around with it. She had just stamped here and not done any designer paper there, and I like the look of having some designer paper here. So you do have to play around to get like 3 patterns that coordinate well with each other. Okay, so let's add this. I do like, I mean, this would even be fun, even if the front was an angle to showcase, to do some paper like this inside a card. So I might have to do this because I kind of like this look here. Let me know if you like this look as well, just on a regular card. All right, so we're trimming off the excess little strips, those 1/8 inch strips that you know I love to do. Okay, so let's add some adhesive to the back here and glue this down. There we go. And this can go to the inside of our card. We're almost done here. Here we go. I like it with the crumb cake. I haven't used that in a little bit. So there's our card. Isn't that just beautiful? But wait till we do the acorns, okay? So I've already pre-stamped my acorns, okay? And I'm pulling in our Stampin' Blends, okay? In case you didn't hear get the notice about our Stampin' Right markers, Stampin' Up! Is discontinuing our Stampin' Right markers, and we are only going to be offering our Stampin' Blends, okay? So if you're loving the markers, you might want to double check and grab some now while they're still in stock. They're already on the last chance list. I think they're just regular price. Some of the in colors are discounted, but you can check that out in my online store, okay, which is right here. Okay, so I'm using dark pecan pie. I'm keeping it really simple, and I've got a little bit of Cajun craze. You guys ever do this happen? Once in a while it does this, so I just have to do that. So we're gonna do some highlights of the Cajun craze here. All right, not a ton, just to give it a little bit of depth there. And going over with some light Cajun craze. This acorn and oak leaf is so easy to color. I'm sure you could do it with the right markers as well. Okay, we've got our little two-tone acorns, and then I'm going to start off with some old olive. Oh, let's see if I can I should have loosened these up before I went live. My blends are fairly old. There we go. Pop it back on. It's still juicy though. So I have the dark old olive, and I like to just kind of outline the veins and maybe a little bit of the darker areas of the leaf with the dark, and then I'm going to go in with the light and do some blending. Okay, there we go. And then let's see, here we go. Let's just add some color and blend some color. Blending isn't bad. I think the more you use them, the more comfortable you get with them. You know, with learning, you know, just getting the feel of doing techniques with them and so on. So I don't use them enough, and I should. I should use them more because I have quite a few of them. And they do dry out. And the one thing you want to make sure is the cap is on tightly. Otherwise, it will definitely dry out because it is alcohol, and alcohol evaporates, okay? It's not a water-based marker. And it's always important that you use Memento ink or another water-based ink. I've never done it with, I've always just used Memento, but you could use Early Espresso, which maybe I did here. So I did use Early Espresso ink, okay? All right, magic of TV. I've already got one die cut out, okay? And we're simply going to, I've got a strip here of Early Espresso, a 1/2 inch strip, and we're gonna just I'm gonna play with this for a minute, get a feel, I think right about there. Let's add this in. I flagged the end of this, and let's just put this right about here. Okay, and let's grab some dimensionals. Grab our dimensionals and put them on here. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. So sign up for my newsletter. You can go to createwithnancy.com and subscribe to my newsletter. There's 2 ways to subscribe. One is for my blog posts, which unfortunately I've not been writing too much or in a while. So it's on my list to get done. Or the other one, it takes a minute for the newsletter to pop up, to subscribe to the newsletter. And that's where you're going to find PDF tutorials for most of my projects. This one, I believe I'm going to be offering as a class to go. So I hope you enjoy this. And that would, you would get the tutorial with that in the class to go. Okay, so let's add this onto here. Okay, and we're going to grab a linen bow. So let's grab a linen thread bow. Let's see, let's grab a mini glue dot. I felt like there was one already stuck on there. Just remember, your glue dots are always hidden, okay? They're never on top. If they're on top, you've unrolled it way too much, okay? So I'm gonna grab it there. And then I always like to put a little crease there because that's where I know where the next one is hiding to get done. So we've got our, this is a double bow, which kind of fluffs it up and makes it look a little fancier, right? We're going to add some more glue dots, and let's take out these sequins. These are in the mini catalog, I believe. So you can find them there. You could use just a sprig of glue, but we're going to go really easy today, and there's tons in here. I have been using them quite a bit lately. There are so many. So you could be really generous. You know how we do it in like odd numbers, like a minimum of 3? You could go 5. You could go 7 of these. Depends on how wild and crazy you want to get. All right, so let's put up a couple here. We got to create that triangle effect. And then let's put one down here, I think. So a triangle that kind of creates and focals around our acorns and leaves. Okay, there we go. And isn't that just beautiful? Look at that right there. There we go. I love this. I am like so in love with this. And look at that. So let's, oh, we're not done yet. We're going to add, I already pre-stamped some words. Grateful for you. So what I'm going to do, this is just a 3/8 inch strip of cardstock. And sometimes I did a lot. So when you're cutting these, cut a lot of them, because sometimes like this one's a little crooked, or maybe I didn't stamp it well. You're going to want lots. So I think I'm going to cut this apart. Okay. We're going to cut Grateful apart and the For You. And our mini glue dots are going to come to the rescue on here. They are like the perfect size for this. And so if you're not using mini glue dots, add a package to your next order, because these are fabulous. You don't have to cut them apart for something smaller and gum up your scissors. That's what I like about it, is not gumming up my scissors, because when you cut Dimensionals. They're called dimensionals, Nancy. Oh my goodness. I guess we were doing too much crafting and thinking out in classes this morning. All right, see, that just kind of gives it a totally different look. We're going to finish it off with, so I got 2 pieces here for another future card. I've already put my designer paper on my envelope flap. So I like to cut it 2 3/8 by 6 inches. And then, so I make sure I get enough around there. You could probably 2 1/4 might work nowadays. But maybe they're making the flap a little bit shorter, but it used to be 2 3/8 was like perfect. So I have to try 2 1/4 and see how that works. All right, so we just give it a little haircut there, and voila, we have a beautiful card. Look at that card right there. Isn't that awesome? Okay, who loves fall? I'm a fall person. Of course, I love outdoors. So, all right, so I'm going to put my blend tops in. So this is what I'm talking about. It's just really make sure you are pushing on those, even if you've got to go like this, all right? Make sure your tops are secure, especially the ones that pulled apart, all right? You just really want to make sure so they last longer for you, right, Toe? Okay, let's look at a couple more samples and tell me which one you like. Which one's your favorite? Okay, here's with the pumpkins. So I use, what did I use? Gray Granite and Crumb Cake to color this pumpkin. And that, of course, is Pumpkin Pie and then some Daffodil Delight. Look at the Indian corn. Can you guys see that? Isn't that cute? Ah, love it. So here's this one. Here's another one I did. Okay. And I think this one's my favorite. Look at this one. Look at this with the deer. I love this. So, and then of course the inside. So which one do you like? So this one I did stamp on Crumb Cake, and this one's on vanilla. So you can kind of see the difference. Do you like the vanilla better, or do you like the Crumb Cake better? So, okay, everybody, that is what I have to share with you today. So I hope you are leaving inspired to go into your crafting area and create and share those creations with others. Okay, if you want more information about, you can go order, or these supplies can be ordered starting September 3rd. Okay, or you can get them now if you join and be part of my team. And add them to your starter kit, okay? Let's see. What else was there? Check my newsletter for the latest classes that are happening. My team and I are having a fabulous event coming up in October, and registration closes in about another week. So thanks so much. Have an awesome day, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.